Hello everyone, welcome to 4spoons gluten-free recipes.com. My name is Nicole and I'm very excited because I'm going to show you how to make the most beautiful gluten-free pastry. And it is easy and it just makes the most gorgeous pies. So let's get started. So I have measured out 2 flours, brown rice flour and tapioca flour. This recipe only takes 2 flours, which is really nice. I'm going to put a bit of xanthan gum in here as well, and a touch of salt. Let me get my, there we go. All right, I'm going to be putting this onto my food processor and blending it up. The next step is adding the fat. Now you can do whatever you want. It can be butter, it can be lard. I'm going to be using a non-hydrogenated, dairy-free, soy-free margarine. And the key to this is to freeze it. You gotta freeze the fat, and then we're gonna chop it up, measure it, and then toss it in the food processor and blend it very, very briefly just to chop it down to the right size. Okay, now I'm going to throw this into the food processor and I'm going to briefly, very, very briefly blend it up. So I briefly blended this with the food processor and the margarine has crumbled up into perfect little size chunks of fat. All right, now I'm going to pour it into my bowl. Now when your fat is frozen, it means that everything's nice and cool in your dough with your pastry and it's much easier to work with. Now I'm going to be putting in some nice cold eggs. And some cold water. And with a fork, I'm just mixing it up together, pulling it together, and then I'm going to be kneading it into a dough. So this has come together and I've kneaded it into a nice little ball. I'm going to wrap it in plastic and stick it in the fridge until I am ready to roll it out. We have our dough made. Now this dough is sticky and you need to use a special technique to be able to manage the dough and not go completely bananas. So please do this technique, otherwise it's going to be just too challenging and it will stick to your counter. So what you need is some saran wrap. And you need a nice counter that the saran wrap can stick to. So you'll wipe down your counter and then stick your saran wrap right to the counter. And you'll be amazed at how well it will adhere to the counter. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to not flour the surface. We're gonna stick the dough right onto the saran wrap and then we're gonna roll it out. Feel free to use lots of flour as you're rolling on top, but don't put it on the saran wrap. And then once it's rolled out, we just lift it up and place it directly into the pan. So I'll show you how to do that. It's easy and it makes working with a gluten-free pastry dough, a sticky dough, very, very simple. I'm going to carefully pull back the saran wrap. Might stick a little bit, but if you're careful, it'll come away just fine. Ta-da! Now, there you go. So this technique can be obviously used for the top crust as well. And then depending on your recipe, how you bake this will depend on the recipe that you choose. But at this point, you can make any beautiful pie you want. So be brave. This was easy to throw together and just go make a pie.
Hey there, it's Matt from 4spoons glutenfreerecipes.com. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe. To find the full recipe, check out our website at 4spoonsglutenfreerecipes.com.